Okay, so boom. So today I want to talk about being lukewarm. I feel that it's so many people that are lukewarm and don't even realize how lukewarm they're being. They don't realize the decisions they make and certain environments that they put themselves in are causing them to be that way. I'm not gonna say it's necessarily because they want to be lukewarm, but in order to not be lukewarm, you have to have some type of mental discipline and self control to be able to say no to your flesh and obey your spirit and to obey God's commands. The thing is, if you don't have a real relationship with God, then you're gonna be more so submissive towards your own understanding and what your flesh wants for real. You're not gonna really be led by the spirit because the flesh is gonna be leading you away from it. Simply put, the flesh works to distract you away from your spirit. The flesh is so corrupt; it wants you to be led away from what is good and what is of God, and so it's gonna lead you toward distraction, toward drugs, toward alcohol, toward things that ain't of God to keep you away from Him and to keep your attention elsewhere. But once you learn to have self discipline over yourself and you learn to tell your flesh no, and you start listening to your spirit more, you start being led by your spirit and start focusing on keeping God's decrees and His commands and doing right by Him, then you'll start crucifying your flesh and you'll start being led by your spirit. And the more you learn to crucify your flesh and to say no to things of this world and to focus on God, y'all relationship will grow. Your relationship will not only grow with God, but your mental discipline and your will to say no to the flesh will become easier. It won't bother you as much. It won't be as hard. But if you want to achieve that relationship with God, if you want to get closer to Him, if you want to do these things, then you have to be willing to say no to what your flesh wants. Say no to the drugs, say no to the parties, say no to getting drunk, say no to doing whatever it is that you're doing that's keeping you away from Him. What sense does it make to say, "Oh, I want to get closer to God," but you literally leading yourself from Him? That doesn't make sense at all. Scripture says, and this is not word for word, bar for bar, but it says, many praise them with his lips, but their hearts are far from him. Don't be one of those people, bro. You have to learn to crucify your flesh. The walk that we walk with God, he never said it was going to be an easy walk. The walk of God is a walk of suffering, but you have to be willing to let him in on that suffering with you so y'all can sit in it together and y'all can grow in it together. It'll make your relationship stronger and it'll make you stronger. God's always been there. He's always been waiting. It's as simple as you just taking that first step to build a relationship with them.